Run it back, Philly. No frauds, no fanboys, no intros.
Jaden Springer. I want to get your take on him and how he played based on what you saw, or because I feel like I'm going to be more negative. So,
are you? The thing about Jaden Springer is, first of all, I think that Daryl Morey drafted him as just a, Daryl was in that draft trying to trade Ben Simmons. The entire draft, he was trying to trade Ben Simmons. He was trying to get it done before the offseason happened this last year, however long ago, and then it lasted forever. But he was trying to get it done before the season started. He was trying to get it done at the draft. He couldn't get what he wanted in return, and I think he just said, fine, then. We'll take Jaden Springer right here because, if all of this falls apart, at least we have a kid that in 5-6 years might be a really good NBA player. So I think that's why he took him. I don't think he planned on Jaden Springer contributing anytime soon. It was just kind of a backup plan. If I can't move Ben for this, or this, I'm going to draft this kid. I think Springer has a lot of potential. Again, he's not even 20, which is crazy. I thought he was 21 already, but I guess, he's not even 20. So you can't really assess him too harshly yet. Maybe you can. I don't know. But I think he has a lot of potential. One of the things that I really, really like about Jaden Springer is his low center of gravity, his body control in the air, and the fact that he loves creating contact and taking contact in the air and staying square and finishing through contact. And, when people compare him to Matisse Thybulle, they only compare him to him because of his athleticism and his defensive ability. This kid can already play basketball 10 times better than Matisse Thybulle at 19 years old. I don't think I've ever seen Matisse Thybulle break a player down off the dribble, jump into contact, and finish an and-one layup. Like, it's just, I think he has a lot of potential. He's just very, very young. I don't know much about his three-point shot. I've seen a couple of nice mid-range jumpers. But I really like his attacking ability and, his center of gravity, how he holds himself in the air, and he's strong. He can jump high. He had the block last game that was after a foul call, but he almost hit his head on the rim blocking a shot. So I love his athleticism. And it's, again, I don't think it's a player that anybody expected to contribute anytime soon anyway. So maybe 3, 4, 5 years from now, Jaden Springer is a solid NBA player. Who knows?
In terms of how I view Jaden Springer, I agree with the notion that he's a project. He's very raw, and we can see that. I don't think there's any chance, by the way, that he cracks the roster. I think he'll be in the G League once again, which I think you have to look at yourself and reflect as an organization. We drafted a guy that's going to be in the G League for 2, maybe even more years. That's a different story, and that's kind of where I'm frustrated with the Jaden Springer pick. Overall, I think you make good points about him. Now, I still think on his jump shot, he's, really pushing it. And I have a problem with the Sixers development in terms of getting these guys, better offensively and making them more polished players. Doesn't seem like there's a motivation there. I got to be honest with you. The Jaden Springer I saw in Summer League is the same exact Jaden Springer I saw last year. The only difference is that he hit a couple big layups that I don't even know how they went in, to be honest. But, I don't know if Jaden Springer can break anybody down on the NBA level. Yes, he's going to be a nice defender. He can, pick some passing lanes. I think he'll be good for that. But really, he reminds me of another Thybulle. And I'm not saying he's better or worse than Thybulle. I'm just saying he still seems to me as one-dimensional. And, he's more athletic. He'll at least try to put it on the floor. But his jump shot, it just doesn't seem pure to me. And it needs a lot of work. And, I see him try to go for, a couple short shots or layups, and he misses, and he's kind of all out of whack. And I don't know, man. He doesn't strike me as like, okay, this kid's going to be ready anytime soon. And it's not even more with him. Like, I like him as a prospect, but it's more so with the Sixers organization. Like, the pick just doesn't make sense to me. And I'm seeing this notion. I'm seeing this theme, with a lot of these Sixers players, like Paul Reed, for example. You're telling me they haven't just changed his jump shot a little bit. He's still doing the same thing. Look at Charlie Brown Jr. He shoots from the side of his head. I don't understand where the development technique is. And I'm seeing the same thing, and I don't know if it's ever going to change.
When Charlie Brown Jr. shoots, I want to turn the game off. I don't care if it goes in. It's one of the most horrible looking jump shots. A lot of times I'm shocked that, like, how did you get this. I mean, I know how you got this far, your other attributes, but it just kind of just funny to me that you got this far and that's how you shoot a basketball. So it maybe says like more about the other things a player is good at, or his size, his athleticism, his hustle, and things like that. But good Lord, Charlie Brown Jr.'s jump shot's horrible. Yeah, I agree with you on Jaden Springer. I think I probably need to take into account that it's not NBA competition more than I do when I see him break a guy down off the dribble and things like that. The thing about his size is that at his size, 6'3", to be successful on the NBA level, he would have to be a point guard. Almost 100% he would have to be a point guard. There's rarely a 6'3" anything else in the NBA. And, you know, to be a successful point guard in the NBA, unless you're Rajon Rondo, you got to be a shooter, I think. You have to be a threat from the outside so you can run the pick and roll and bring the defense out. So then you start to look at Jaden Springer's, like, is he a facilitator? Does he play anything like a point guard? And probably not at this point. So he would have a lot of development to go in that category. And the same thing for Isaiah Joe when you look at his size, because you look at what position would he play in the NBA, and it would probably be shooting guard or small forward. And shooting guards and small forwards in the NBA are 6'6", 6'7", 6'8", and he's 6'4", 190, you know? So it's like we want to believe in these guys so much, but then you kind of have to look at it on a realistic standpoint, like are they actually big enough to play the position that they would play in the NBA? So, you know, this could all be just a smoke and mirrors because they're playing against G League competition, but maybe that's the truth. Maybe that's why we don't see them on the floor. Who knows?
Run it back, Philly. No frauds, no fanboys, no intros.